Hi, this is Munson from Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you play a song called Baby It's Cold Outside. And I'm kind of working off the Duck the Halls album for this. We're going to start off on a C major chord, and we play C major. First finger goes to the B string on the first fret, second finger on the D string, second fret, and third finger on the A string on the third fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from the C, we're going to be going to an A minor chord, and we play A minor. All you really have to do is kind of take the third finger from the A string third and put it on the G string second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. And then from the A minor, we're going to go into a D minor chord. When we play D minor, first finger goes to the high E string on the first fret, the second finger on the G string second fret, and the third or the fourth finger on the B string third fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D minor chord, and it sounds really sad. And then from the D minor on our intro, we're going to be going to a G major chord when we play G major. First finger goes to A on the second fret, the second finger on the low E string on the third fret, and third finger on the high E string on the third fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from there, we kind of repeat that, kind of that C, A minor, D minor, G major. A lot of times with a song like this, to make it more interesting, I like adding something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So we took the C and just tried that a lot just to get used to it. You'd have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now, the weird part about our intro though is it kind of halves that strum pattern. So you may just want to do it down, down, up on each chord. So you'd have C, down, up, A minor, down, up, D minor, down, up, G, down, up, C, down, up, A minor, down, up, D minor, down, up, G, down, up. And then from there, we'll be going into our first verse. And we kind of start on the C major, and another C, and then D minor, G, D minor, G, and then back to C, C. Then we go to a G minor chord. And you may want to do this as kind of a third fret bar, third finger on the A string on the fifth fret, pinky on the D string on the fifth fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G minor chord, and it sounds really sad. Now if you're new to bar chords, you may want to even kind of use just the top two or the top three or the top four strings and kind of work that into that kind of that full bar. Or you may want to do a cool little G minor cheat, where you do second finger on the low E string third fret, third finger on the B string third fret, and the pinky on the high E string third fret. And if you strum all those together and kind of take the first finger and kind of mute out the A string, that could work as kind of your G minor chord. And as a random aside, actually, for the G major, you could even kind of add in that first finger on the A string. That's another voicing for the G major. The main difference is we're kind of muting out that string. Or if you're a little more adventurous, you can kind of get first finger to go back to the D string or A string on the first fret. Kind of make that a G minor that way too. And then we'd be going back to the C, and actually while we're talking about these drone voicings, you could use a C major 9 for the C's, where you do first finger on the D string second fret, second finger on the A string third fret, third finger on the B string third, and the pinky on the high E string third. And that could kind of work for your C majors 3 and 2 too. And then from that C, we're going to be going to an F major chord, and we'll play F major. Normally you do this as a bar on first fret, second finger on the G string second fret, third finger on the A string third, and the pinky on the D string third. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an F major bar chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now if you want to avoid the bars, though, a good substitute for that can be F major 7. We play F major 7. First finger goes to the B string on the first fret, the second finger on the G string second fret, and third finger on the D string on the third fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds an F major 7, and it sounds really groovy, happy. And from the F, we're going to be going to a D major. We play D major. The first finger goes to the G on the second fret, second finger on the high E second fret, and third finger on the B string on the third fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E, that sounds a D major chord. Now you may also want to think about using something called D7 there, where you do the first finger on the B string first fret, second finger on the G string second fret, and third finger on the high E string second fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D7 chord. D dominant 7 sounds kind of nasty. That really helps us kind of push back to the G major chord. And then we do an A minor, and then we go back to our D major chord, and then we go back to a G major at the very end. So we tried our strum pattern through kind of that first verse. We'd have the C down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, B minor, down, up, G, down, up, B minor, down, up, G, down, up, C, down, up, C, down, down, up, G minor, down, up, C, down, down, up, F, down, up, down, up, F, down, up, D7, down, down, up, D7, down, down, up, G, down, down, up, D minor, down, down, up, D, down, down, up, D, down, down, up. And then from there, then we'll be going into kind of the second half of that. I'm just calling it the second verse. And on our second verse, actually, we kind of start off exactly the same way until we get to the very end. There's this tag where we do a C major, and then we go to a quick B flat major. And normally you do this as a first finger bar on the first fret, second on the D string third, third on the G string third, and the pinky on the B string third. That sounds a B flat major chord. Now you may also want to think about kind of doing that as a double bar, kind of using the third finger to cover D, G, and B. Or another possibility actually would be kind of making smaller versions of that chord, where you do the first finger on the high E first fret, third finger on the G string third fret, pinky on the B string on the third fret, and if you strum the top 3 or the top 4 strings, that's another way you could play your B flat major. Or you could take the second finger and kind of add it in on the D on the third fret. And then from the B flat, we go to an A major chord, and we play A major. First finger goes to the D on the second fret, second finger on the G string second fret, and third finger on the B string on the second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now on that A, you may also want to think about using something called A7, where you kind of lift off the second finger and kind of use that as kind of an A7, or if you're slightly offended by that finger, you could readjust it. Or you could even take the pinky and kind of add it in on the high E on the third fret, kind of make that, give it a little bit more bite. And then from that A7, we go back to the D or the D7, and then we go back to the G major. Or if you're digging on the 7 sound, actually you could use a G7 chord there, where you do the first finger on the high E on the first fret, second finger on the A string third fret, third finger on the low E string on the third fret. If you strum all those together, that sounds a G7 chord, and it sounds really nasty. So that could be a cool thing to do kind of from that B flat, which could be kind of a cool thing to kind of add in at the very, very end. And actually, another 7 chord you may want to think about is right after that G minor, you may want to go to a C7 chord to help lead to the F. And when we play C7, you do your regular C shape, and you take the pinky and kind of add him in on the G string third fret. And that might be kind of a cool thing to add in there to kind of help point to the F major. So if we try our strum pattern with our second verse, we'd have the C down, up, down, C down, up, B minor, down, up, G, down, up, B minor, down, up, G, down, up, C, down, up, C, down, up, G minor, down, up, C7, and down, down, up, F, down, up, D7, down, up, G, down, up, C, down, up, B flat, A, D, G, to lead us into kind of our intro return. Now something else I think about adding to the song though is bass notes, and a lot of times on that first down, of the down, down, up, down, up, you could throw in a bass note for the chord. So on the C you'd have the A for the bass, on the A minor you'd have the A for the bass, on the D minor you'd have the D for the bass, and on the G you'd have low E for the bass, and on the G minor bar we'd have the low E for the bass, and on the F we'd have the low E for the bass, on the D and the D7 we'd have D for the bass, and on the G we'd have the low E string for the bass, and on the B flat we'd have the A string for the bass when we get to that chord. So we tried our next verse with kind of a bass, or that intro return with a bass down, up, down, up. Or adding basses. We'd have C with an A bass, A minor with an A bass, D minor with a D bass, G with low E bass, C with an A bass, A minor with an A bass, D minor with a D bass, G with low E bass. And if we took that idea and tried it through our next verse, we'd have C with an A bass down, down, C with an A bass, D minor with a D bass, G with low E bass, D minor with a D bass, G with low E bass, C with an A bass, C with an A bass, G minor with low E bass, C7 with an A bass, F with a bass down, up, down, bass down, up, down, B7 with a D bass, D7 with a D bass, G with low E bass, song. So we tried adding basses to that. We'd have soothing A bass, soothing A bass, D minor D bass, G with Louis bass, D minor D bass, G with Louis bass, soothing A bass, soothing A bass, G minor Louis bass, soothing A bass, down for the bass, down, down, up, down, up, D with D bass, G with Louis bass, soothing A bass, E flat with an A bass, A with an A bass, D with a D bass, G with Louis bass, and then we kind of have a C, kind of do that verse. And then from there, then we go right into our outro part, where we kind of do the D major, and then a G major, and then we kind of on our intros, kind of our outro, kind of working that on live. Kind of C, A minor, D minor, G, C, A minor, D minor, G, C, A minor, D minor, G. The end where we kind of do this chord. But that's the basics of how you can strum through the "Baby It's Cold Outside" version from Duck the Hall. So good luck!